Electric cars are only going to get more popular as the costs fall and the benefits of emission-free vehicles becomes ever clearer. The batteries that power these vehicles need replacing every few years, but that doesn't mean they are rendered useless, so Nissan decided to repurpose them for outdoor lighting. Nissan needed to do something with the old batteries coming out of its Leaf electric cars. These batteries still work, just not well enough anymore for power-hungry vehicles. So the Japanese company came up with a new street light design that works off-grid. Working with its subsidiary 4R Energy Corporation, Nissan designed a new type of outdoor light that doesn't require a connection to the main power grid. It's simply a light, an old Leaf battery, and a solar panel, and it's called the Reborn Light Project. During the day a solar panel generates power which is then stored in the Leaf battery. At night, you get free light. A prototype of the light is being tested this week in the Japanese town of Nami, which is still recovering from the 2011 earthquake and tsunami that hit the region. Once proven to work, Nissan intends a full-scale installation for the town beginning before the end of the financial year. Such projects are a relatively easy way to reuse components while continuing to reduce emissions. As the number of electric vehicles on our roads increases, so can the number of projects that reuse the batteries. If successful, Nissan's The Reborn Light project could ultimately see all of Japan's street lights replaced with off-grid alternatives. Imagine the energy that would save every year.
Subaru is going to take the wraps off the 2019 Subaru Forester this Wednesday at the New York Auto Show, but to get us ready, Subaru has released another teaser of the new crossover. Unfortunately, the second teaser shows off the 2019 Forester's taillights like the first one, but at least this latest teaser is a little clearer. While the teaser reveals the new C-shaped taillights, overall don't expect a big change for the 2019 Forester. Its styling is expected to stay pretty close to the current model, but at least under the skin there will be some bigger changes. Subaru hasn't said much about the 2019 Forester, but it is expected to be based on the new Subaru Global platform, which is also used by the latest Impreza and Crosstrek. We'll find out what will power the 2019 Forester on Wednesday, but let's hope that the 2019 Ascent's new 260 horsepower 2.4L turbocharged 4-cylinder is on the options list.
Now that the Tesla Model 3 is getting into the hands of the general public, outlets including Consumer Reports, Edmunds and Strategy Analytics have taken delivery and published their impressions. Driving dynamics and handling were among their consistent pros, while some of the commonly cited cons have had to do with poor build quality and problems with so many of the car's controls being tied to its touchscreen. Here's a roundup of some of the first Model 3 reviewers' impressions. Consumer Reports gave the Model 3 a fairly positive first drive review. While the publication's last Model S had some issues with the fit of trim pieces, the magazine said that the Model 3's interior felt solid and that it hadn't yet noticed any squeaks, rattles or misalignments. Jake Fisher, director of auto testing at Consumer Reports, said in a phone interview, "It's honestly more like driving a Porsche Boxster than a typical luxury sedan. It's really fun and engaging to drive. The experience for rear passengers isn't as great." Fisher said that the Model 3's back seats sink close to the ground and are uncomfortable. The Model 3's 15-inch center screen has an impressive level of capability and functionality, the magazine said, but it's packed with menus and drivers are forced to use it in ways that don't always make sense, such as to adjust the car's adaptive cruise control speed. Edmunds had a similar take on the touchscreen, praising its clean and futuristic looks, while lamenting that its ease of use isn't as stellar. The car shopping researchers said the Model 3 was dramatically quicker and more engaging to drive than other popular EVs, such as the BMW i3 and the Chevrolet Bolt. It was harsher on how well the sedan was built, calling its body panel gaps inconsistent and criticizing the cracked vanity mirror and broken driver's seat shell in the car it took home. More worrisome, Edmunds has alerted Tesla's service center about problems it's had getting an appointment, and said new parts have been slow to come in. Dan Edmunds, director of vehicle testing, said in a phone interview, "The fact that Tesla would ship a car that doesn't have everything all worked out is a bit off-putting to me. It feels like the service centers are still staffing up to meet demand, and the service system isn't totally synchronized." Market researcher Strategy Analytics published a review focused on user experience and found that the Model 3's touchscreen is exceptionally difficult to use while driving and posited that it may have been designed for a self-driving future which has yet to arrive. Chris Schreiner, director of the user experience practice, said in an interview, "The Model 3 drove pretty well. It handled very well. Autopilot worked well on it. I didn't really have any issues with performance. But the positioning of the screen is a suboptimal experience for the driver. It's an uncomfortable reach to use, and all of this information like the speedometer and the controls for the windshield wiper are on the screen, which takes some getting used to."
Nissan is launching a new program today to replace old Leaf battery packs with refabricated packs at a discount over new packs. Electric car battery packs inevitably lose some of their capacity over time after some use. It's generally fairly limited to a few percentage points, but when it comes to the Nissan Leaf, some owners have been experiencing more significant degradation. Nissan Leaf guarantees roughly 66% capacity over 100k miles/96 months, while a recent study shows that with the original 24 kWh pack lose about 20% of their capacity over 5 years. Interestingly, the same study shows that Nissan's more recent 30 kWh battery pack loses capacity more quickly than the older pack. In comparison, data from early Model S and Model X vehicles show a trend of reaching 150,000 miles before coming close to a 10% capacity loss. To alleviate concerns, Nissan is launching a new replacement program, starting with Japan. Nissan said, starting in May, owners of the 100% electric Nissan Leaf can turn in their used batteries and, for a fee, receive refabricated ones. Nissan is using the battery refabrication capabilities of Forer Energy Corporation, a company established through a joint venture with Sumitomo Corporation, to offer the program. Owners can also get new packs, 650,000 yen, about $6,200 USD, for 24 kWh. 800,000 yen, about $7,600 USD, for 30 kWh. And 820,000 yen, about $7,800 USD, for 40 kWh. But the new program for refabricated ones will cost only 300,000 yen, about $2,850 USD.
The countdown to the New York Auto Show continues as Subaru has released a new teaser image of the 2019 Forester. While the image only reveals a portion of the crossover's rear end, we can see the redesigned model will have C-shaped taillights and an all-new tailgate with recesses around the license plate and above the bumper. Speaking of the latter, the bumper has plastic body cladding and a faux silver skid plate. The image doesn't reveal much, but the rear end appears slightly different than the purported pictures which surfaced earlier this month. However, the changes aren't expected to be too dramatic, as previous spy photos have shown the Forester will retain its distinctive styling. Subaru hasn't said much about the Forester, but it will ride on the Subaru global platform that underpins the Impreza. This change promises to increase safety, improve driving dynamics and reduce noise, vibration and harshness levels. Engine options remain unconfirmed, but the model could be offered with a 2.0-liter four-cylinder producing 152 horsepower, 113 kilowatts, and 145 pounds-ft, 196 newton-meters, of torque. It would likely be paired to a continuously variable transmission and a symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Other possible options include a familiar 2.5-liter four-cylinder and the company's new turbocharged 2.4-liter four-cylinder, which recently debuted in the Ascend. It produces 260 horsepower and 277 pounds-ft of torque. The 2019 Subaru Forester will be unveiled on March 28, so stay tuned for full details on Wednesday.